Well, welcome, sojourners. Jay here, and I wanted to do a. Sorry, I got a froggy throat today, so I'm not singing. Thank God. I want to do a follow up on the Acoustasonic. I did a little demonstration of it. Oh, I don't know, a month or so ago when I first got it. And I ran through all of the settings, but my follow-up isn't about, it's the specs and the different sounds to an extent, because you can find all of those things all over YouTube. What I wanted to do was share with you my experience of actually using it live, and how I use it as a tool for what I do, the kind of music that I do, and the different genres, and why I find it very valuable as a tool. Now, I'd like to just mention a couple of things. I purchased this at a discounted price through a big chain store. They had them on sale, and I think they had them on sale because they came out shortly after I purchased this with the Mexican version. It has less sound modulations in the electronics. It doesn't have a rechargeable battery. It has a 9-volt battery pocket in the back. And so those are the major two differences as far as I can see. And it's about half price. I think the Mexican ones run about $1,000. These for list price are about $2,000. So I think they tried to make them more affordable for people. Anyway, I love this instrument. First of all, I just want to clarify that. And for me, the way I use it as a tool is when I play with the senior discounts, I had to have, there was times where we played gigs where I had 2 acoustic guitars, one tuned standard, one tuned to an open tuning, and then I used another couple of different open tunings, so I'd have to move that one around a little. And then I had an electric guitar for some of the rock genre stuff that we did, and I had an octave mandolin to fill in on some of the folk stuff we did. I had a mandolin and a banjo or banjar, guitar version of a banjo for different songs. And then two keyboards. It's crazy. It's just I decided that just wasn't very good. It took too long to set up. I mean, even if you're doing a 4-hour gig, it took me 2 hours just to set up. It's crazy. And 2 hours to tear down. And I'm too old for that. So this really simplified a lot of those things. And I'm down to one guitar. I don't have to bring 3 guitars. I do detune this. When I do the open tuning songs, I just stop for a second, put it on quiet, turn the volume down. I'm also running this through my GT1 guitar processor. And that little loop I did is using the looper on the GT1. And I use a natural clean setting with nothing but reverb on the acoustic sound that you hear. And then I've got some other modulations and amp mods and some delay and some other effects, overdrive a little bit, crunch on the electric pickup side when I do the soloing. And that was just to show you where I go from one to the other. And that's what this is great for. It's great for going from one to the other, like going from acoustic, if you're doing a gig, or even if you're doing a solo gig in your acoustic, or if you're doing like you want to do a loop and you want to play over it. I mean, that's a great example. But for me, I play with a group. Sometimes I need an acoustic guitar, sometimes I need an electric guitar, and this fits the bill for both. Now, it doesn't replace them perfectly. I just want to say the acoustic sounds in this are great, but they don't beat an actual acoustic guitar or a mic'd acoustic guitar for authenticity of sound. And the same with the electric guitar pickup. It doesn't replace the sound of a Les Paul or a Stratocaster or, you know, whatever your solid body electric guitar sound is. However, it does emulate it close enough for me to get through a 4-hour gig. And if you're on the fly and trying to record tracks and you're not putting out an album that you plan on becoming a big seller or something like that, it's great for taking mobile recording. So I just wanted to just let people know, you know, what this is really good for. In case you're trying to think about whether you should get one or not. It will simplify your life if you have to play live, especially. It's really nice for if you're going to a gig where you don't even have an amp. I just bring my processor because they have amp modulations in there and just plug it through the PA. And you get stereo out or mono out. This thing runs on batteries. If I go to an open mic night or a jam session, I can just put this down and run it on batteries. And the rechargeable battery in this lasts 20 hours. So I'm pretty good. If I charge it up before I leave or whatever, it's good. Now there are some things that I want to that are cons that I want to point out. Well, one thing in particular, I should say. So on the jack, as you can see here, I'm going to put it up to this camera here. And we're going to go to, whoops, it's still making sound through there. So, anyway, so you can see here on the jack itself, I think you can see, it's really close to the lip here. There's a little ring and then a little lip in there. And then the jack is there. It's got a little elevated ring. And it's very close to that. So here's what happened to me. I was using cords. And I thought these were great cords because they had this extra bit of insulation here. You can see on that cord, I think, that around the bottom there's a big, that secure wrapping, that rubber wrapping or insulated wrapping around there. But it comes out a little bit like to here. You can see that it kind of juts out. Well, when you plug these in to this jack on the bottom there, it kind of holds it out a little bit. And it's just enough to be aggravating where you think your cord is shorting out when you move around, and if it hits your leg or something, it kind of it goes in and out like it's shorting out. And I thought maybe there was something wrong with the jack at first. I brought it down to the guitar store, and the guitar tech plugged it in, and he was wiggling the cord around. He says, I don't see any problem with it. I was really frustrated because this is my experience. A lot of times you can't duplicate it in the lab, so to speak. And so anyway, I came home and I was messing with it, and I finally figured out, it just occurred to me, that maybe it was the jack cord, maybe the jack cord. And I use this 90, it's got a 90 degree on it, but as you can see, it also kind of bevels down at the bottom base of the tip instead of going up a little bit. So I can get that all the way in to the jack, and once I get that in there all the way, I don't get any, let's see if I can see it here, get it in all the way. And the 90 degree is much better anyway for this type of jack. But once I get it in all the way, then the sound is there. Let's see if it's there now. Let's see. Yeah. So I've got it on this other patch here. So, I'm doing this, whoops, wrong patch. There we go. Yeah. So it's there. And it doesn't, I can mess with it and hit it and everything, and it doesn't cut out on me like it does with those other chords. So that's one of the big problems that I found with it. But I mean, it's not a big problem. It was a problem that I found a solution to. It's a design flaw, in my opinion. I don't think Fender thought about that. And the chords they may have been, I don't know if they tested it, or the chords they may have tested it with were like this, or a certain kind of patch chord. I think if you got the kind with a big fat bass on them, you wouldn't be able to get them in there even. Maybe they specify, I haven't even looked, maybe they suggest a certain kind of chord for it. I don't know. I do use these, which I love. Another thing I want to talk about. Because of so many instruments that I have plugged in, I got these X5 transmitter. It's a wireless system for your instrument. And it has a they look the same. It's a transmitter and a receiver. See, so one of these, put them over here. You can see on the X5, right? One of them goes into your effects pedal. One goes into your guitar, and your wireless. And it works great. Has a big long range. The only drawback is they only last for about 4 hours. So you got to be fully charged if you're going to do a 4-hour gig, or what I do is when I put the instrument down, I kind of turn them off. They work on different channels so they don't interfere with each other, but I just turn them off to save the battery power. So because sometimes you're there longer than 4 hours or whatever. And I always have backup cords if I need them. But it surely helps me when I'm in a little area and having to deal with like picking up the mandolin and putting down the guitar. If you've got all these chords, they start becoming a spaghetti mess pretty quick. And it's frustrating. It ruins kind of the fun of the experience of playing when you're dealing with any kind of issues like that. It drives you crazy. And it interrupts your concentration. So, but I was going to say about this, as far as these jacks here, now you can see this jack isn't quite as bad as that one with the insulation on it. It's got a flat little head around it and it's fairly small. But even with this, if I don't put it in right and turn it around, kind of turn it around backwards in the guitar like that and have that down, if I'm hitting it or tapping it or hitting it, it will intermittently, the signal will get interrupted, like go out, short out. And it can be frustrating too. Now, once I get that settled and in there, I don't usually have that much of a problem with it. But anyway, I just wanted to share this short little follow-up with the Acoustasonic. I'm going to thank you, all of the people that are subscribing to my channel and that are, I haven't been real regular, and I apologize for that. It's hard to find time, and these YouTube videos take a lot. It's a lot. I'm an old guy. I'm technologically a little bit slower than probably younger people, and it just takes me a lot to produce one of these. And content, we've got to find interesting content, and I'm only relatable to a certain segment of society at this point because I'm getting older. But I have some things that maybe for young guys looking at this guitar and wants to know what it's good for. I would say, to sum it up, it's great for live performances when you have to have a variety of sounds from acoustic all the way to electric. So that's what I would say. That being said, I'm going to play out. Let's see, we'll try something a little bit. I'm going to kill this loop. Clear it. I cleared it, and we'll do a different loop. Let's see here. Let's get a different soundage, maybe. I like this sound, maybe. Let's try something different. A 1, 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4.
Bye.